I feel compelled to address this David Reina asperger's having motherfucker. Because I kept thinking that given his actions, he's got to have asperger's or some form of autism. But with that being said, David, why are you so hell-bent on trying to push people who have a lot of light in them towards the darkness? Like, you sound like a Dungeons and Dragons fucking geek. What is this huge preoccupation that you got with trying to shift people towards darkness without their consent? Now, let me give you the backdrop, the backstory on this. Last night, in the astral plane, I was finally able to dream. I'm in a much better place right now. The energy's a lot better. I feel a lot more protected. So with that being said, I was able to actually go into the astral plane. Now, when I entered into the astral plane, the first astral experience I had was of my parents. Them and a couple of other people were wearing what appeared to be, they were wearing like underwear. But it was like men's underwear, you know, like with trunks and all of that, the tidy whities. And so they were all tied up, and they were, you know, I got the feeling that might have been like meat suits. I really wasn't sure, and I saw an enemy in there, somebody who protects, a witch that protects these two people, these group of black girls. Here they are. Stole my blessings in the astral plane. So anyways, I grabbed one of them. I grabbed the witch, grabbed somebody else as well, picked them up, and started, I'm guessing, torturing the fuck out of their asses or something. Now, for the part two, David Reina, from what I understand, took the form of this guy right here. And it seemed like I was in the fifth dimension. Like, whereas in the past I would dream being in the sixth dimension, I was in the fifth dimension. And it seemed like my parents, they were poor, they were wilder, and they were Satanist. And so with that being said, they were trying to, this David Reina person, who took the form of this guy right here in this documentary, who I thought was really, really hot, he kept trying to get me to marry him in the astral plane, which from what I understand is an entity's way of taking control of someone, of being able to kill somebody without a soul contract. Because if you marry somebody in the astral plane and they have to get your full consent, then, and that means, you know, including in your conscious body as well, then they can have access to your soul. So anyways, I was like, yeah, I'm down to fuck, but I don't want to marry you. So I awake from that. So then I can hear the astral parasites going on talking about, you know, you ought to stick with the fifth dimensional awareness because that awareness is very, very dark. Now, a consequence of that teacher putting that curse on me, in which she told me to drop the English accent, that was a manifestation of a curse. Actually, she had sold part of my soul, the huge soul piece that I lost on the right-hand side, the Baron Samedi, for wealth and blessings. She told me, okay, that caused me to be stuck in my inner child, and to still have my innocence intact, and to still see things from the perspective of a child, where you have hope where hope would ordinarily be lost and gone, which is something that I need. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do need healing. You know, I mean, The other night, they were trying to fucking marry me to a fucking Negro, Baron Samity, the roach attachment they call it, which was actually my brother. I mean, these sick fucks, what they do is they torment you by taking your family and using soul pieces of theirs and turning them into entity attachments that they then use to harass you. Because when I tore the motherfucker apart, the motherfucker was trying to put something to my heart chakra like I was a voodoo doll, and my sacral solar plexus chakra right here. When I tore that motherfucker apart, I could hear my brother saying, "Raven, no, they're making me do it." You know, trying to pull on confusion, but I still have a strong intuitive sense, so you really can't confuse me like that. Now, with that being said, these people, he's obsessed with taking away my consciousness. And I'm going to tell you the significance of that. By him taking away my consciousness, all that which I know to be true, all that makes up me, it's an attempt, from what I can tell, to try to make me dark. Now, the other day, I postulated that he might be either a reptilian or else controlled by one, because I saw this manifest one time, along with this other entity called Raven the Dead Goddess, or some old white bitch on YouTube that follows me and wants to be like me and pretends to be me. Bitch with long red hair or something, some old shit like that. I do feel thrown out of the sixth dimension, I'm not gonna lie. I think our consciousnesses serves as keys to being connected to different realms, different dimensions. By kicking that out, that totally, throws me out of the loop. Now, with that being said, yeah, I feel like I got like extra consciousnesses in the back. I keep throwing them astral parasites out, but they keep on coming back. This guy has a strong desire to want to make me dark. And the only way somebody can be obsessed to that degree with a person's light and a person's light shining and snuffing it, I would have to be somebody who's reptilian. I know an English accent just came out. That was weird. That wasn't even me. To put somebody under so much demonic ass pressure, like a crystal in cold, by fucking with their family in the astral plane, by trying to eliminate them out, get rid of them, convert them, woo woo woo, there's gotta be something fucked up about you that's not human. Not even the worst of fucking human beings like a Jeffrey Dahmer. Even Jeffrey Dahmer and that other fucking boy, Ted Bundy, say that they were controlled, will go to those extremes to fuck up people like that. That takes a demonic ass entity to do that. And to fuck with a person who's not fucking with them. The minute I get a dark consciousness, they're cool with it. But I know how to revert that shit right back. I got rid of that shit real quick. I'm like, I'm not going to do anything that's going to appease you. You're going to stay the fuck out of my life. You're going to leave me the fuck alone. I believe, based on evidence, that he works with some people off the dark web. A young lady kept connoting to it. That do very dark, deep magic, occult magic on me. But thankfully, because of the backing of my viewers, he hasn't done as much harm as he could have. That's why I've been posting, video after video about them. And that's why I've been putting them out on Front Street. I noticed that they're weakening. He got his ass whipped by some Mexicans in the astral plane. This Mexican's family who he was trying to fuck with. But understandably so in his case, he did something. But anyways, all right, I have a little bit of time on this. But as I was saying before, he has this obsession with making people dark. Now, I know he has a conscience because when he was one of the people telling me about the rape and all of that while I was Because these astral parasites, I used to be a light sleeper, but because of them, anyways, he exposed what they were doing, and he wanted to fight them. So he's not an all the way completely dark person. He's not evil and malicious. It's something driving him. I sincerely believe that he has Asperger syndrome, in that he gets off on having power, whereas he felt weak before at the, where he felt like he's under the control of other people. How you doing? And so he overcompensates by working with these entities that he thinks gives him power, but in fact, they weaken him by taking his free will away in the form of making him sign soul contracts that takes his consciousness away, that actually turns him into a robot.